Now on this car, it's got a lot of cancer in the back right here. I ordered another floor trunk pan here from for a Chevelle, I mean, and it isn't the full pan, so it doesn't go all the way up the sides. So I'm gonna have to make all the sides out of some 18 gauge, and then put the center in. The one I ordered, it doesn't fit really well either, but it's the best I could get for now. I got to finish up all my sides where I put the inner wheel tubs in. Finish welding all them in, finish putting my quarters all the way up, budding them up and welding them in, and then I'll be able to finish all the back with the Raptor liner as well. But for now I'm just doing the front section, and that's it. But yeah guys, if y'all want a real good product, you can pick this stuff right here up. You get 4 of them. I mean, prices is probably going to change, but I got the whole entire kit for $100, and it come with 4 of these bottles, in which you saw exactly what one bottle done. Hey guys, today I'm working on the underside of this 72 GTO. As you can see, I made this piece right here out of 16 gauge. This is the piece that came out of the car. I wanted a full floor pan, at least that's what I asked for, and they sent me just a partial pan. It didn't come with any of these braces, so I went ahead and made that one. And I made this brace here using the 10 Smith LM 4816 brake, and it's got blue paint on it, but it says 10 Smith right there. Now this right here, this was built here in McMinnville at 10 Smith. It's where I used to work. I worked there for 3 years, and they got some good products. But I would like to have a 16 gauge shear. My dad's got a shear at his shop. I've just used a grinder and a cutting wheel to cut mine, or a plasma cutter like I have right here, which is also a really nice tool. But I've got the piece cut. I've got it sitting into place. It's not exactly perfect to the length on the sides here. I'm just going to cut it straight, notch it, and make it exactly the same length. But this one here is in perfect shape. The fuel tank had some rust holes in it where it rusted through. I ordered a fuel tank for this car today, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get this right here finished up welding it. Alright, there's the piece. I've gotten it all welded in. I still got to do a little bit of grinding on it, but there's the piece. It's sitting in place. Now I've got to finish cutting out this whole section right here. Rather than drilling the welds out, I'll probably use my air chisel and go ahead and take those out with the air chisel. If that don't work, I may just cut out the holes where it's welded. I've got to replace all the way to the trunk drop panels, which I've already replaced both of those. I replaced the inner and outer wheel houses on both sides, and I've sandblasted the bottom of the car. Of course, in the previous video, I used the Raptor liner and done the undercoating on the car, which I still have to go over to another coat because I want it to be real thick, which I haven't made up my mind. We may go ahead and put a base coat, the same color of the car. It is paintable. I went ahead, I've got this in, that's secure. That's probably better than the one from the factory. I'll drill some holes in this so that we can weld it to the floor pan, but I'm going to go ahead and get this thing cut the rest of the way out. Well guys, I went ahead and I used the plasma cutter and I cut all of the floorboard out. I've still got to pull the upper section off of these braces right here, but I've still got the car on the rotisserie. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to clean up all of this upper pan that's still hooked to the top of it. Of course it's not on this one, but the top of these braces. Get my holes drilled where I'm going to make my new welds, and go ahead and clean it up, get my new pan sit in, and I'm going to go ahead and tack it in through these braces, and then go ahead and tack it in through the bottom, tack it in through the top, clean it up, seam seal it. We'll be ready to put some more of this Raptor liner on this thing. Alright, as you can see, I've gone ahead and I've cut out all the floor pan, all the way across. There's the piece I made there. So I cut it all along the front section there. I'm going to go ahead and get the trunk pan put in, and we'll finish it up. Alright guys, as you can tell, I went ahead and I drilled my hose for me to be able to weld through the braces over to the floor pan. What I've got here is a spider on it. I don't like spider. You know, I've got some self-tapping screws, and all I'm going to do, I'm just going to self-tap some screws just through a couple of the holes just to bring the floor pan down to my braces. And then once I get a few of the tack welds in there holding it in place, I can pull the screws out and weld them up. It's looks like enough to hold it. I'll put one more right through anywhere where it's pulled apart. Everything looks like it's pretty tight. So what that done, that pulled my floor pan real tight to my braces. So now I just hold the hammer, get a hammer, where my hammer is. Now I'll push up against the brace and I'll throw in a tack weld. And I'll also do the same right here and to force the metal into place, and then I'll weld it solid all the way around the floor pan. It doesn't need to be welded solid, but that's just the way I like doing things. Well, hey guys, I got my trunk pan finished up on my customer Tyler here's car. I'll go ahead and I'll run you down what I've done here. You can see on the bottom I've done the Raptor lining. And there it is, all finished in on the bottom. And as you can tell, you can't tell it ever had a floor pan put in. Now on the bottom here, I had to bend on my brake. A piece of 16 gauge put here, another piece put on here because the floor pan didn't reach all the way to the tail drops here. I put inner and outer wheelhouses in this car here, and there it is. Now what I done, I measured the floor pan that I had, and I cut just a little bit above, which you can tell up here in the front where I've seam sealed, where I put the two panels together. I ground the welds and seam sealed them. I welded it both on the top and the bottom. I'll go ahead and rotate the car back around where you can see inside the trunk. And I used my 10 Smith brake, which is blue, it ain't green anymore. But I haven't ground down or sanded down my body filler, but I just kind of slapped some body filler on there real quick because I want all the trunk after I clean it up and do some Raptor liner in here. I don't want you to ever be able to notice that it ever had a trunk pan put in it. But that is the update so far on the car. And there's the brake I've been everything on, and of course there's my project truck. But appreciate y'all guys for viewing my videos. If you have any questions, feel free to ask or comment, and please subscribe.